All right, so for our next speaker, we would like to invite Migrante Los Angeles. Migrante is a national democratic mass organization of Filipino workers and migrants dedicated to fighting for the rights and welfare of Filipinos in the U.S. and for genuine democracy and freedom in the Philippines.
Migrante Los Angeles, a national democratic organization under Bayan, fighting for the rights and welfare of migrants and workers across the globe, and for us specifically here in Los Angeles. Our membership is made up of migrant workers, caregivers, service workers, unhoused immigrants in LA. I myself work at a beloved Filipino fast food restaurant where a lot of Filipino migrants find themselves working. In April, we got a $20 wage increase. And at first, we thought that this was a blessing to us. Then our hours were cut. Full-time workers only getting 25 to 29 hours in a week. They told us to make higher quotas to make up for the, quote, negative labor costs, which for us meant worse and worse conditions in the workplace. They made us work in the heat wave, in 100-degree kitchen for months because they didn't want to pay for the AC. And they want to squeeze us dry without losing any profit. Corporate makes the fast food crew do welding, landscaping, and other ridiculous things while none of us can afford to pay rent without living with our entire families in a one-bedroom apartment. All that to say, whoever is president, they don't care about whether we live with dignity. They raise the wage, but let corporate cut us dry. Trump says he'll fix everything, but he won't. People are rallying to him because he lies to the working people. It's bullshit. The Democrats are so out of touch with people, just trying to get by, while at the same time they put all their money into a genocide. Now me, my co-workers, my friends will have to face some fascist, anti-immigrant shit on top of trying to keep our families here and in the Philippines alive. Some of our members are also part of the Housing for Manila campaign. A campaign by Filipinos and other migrants who are in encampment in Koreatown. They were put under Mayor Karen Bass's Inside Safe program, promising them permanent housing within 3 months. However, they were placed in a hotel where they didn't have access to utilities. They couldn't have guests over, and they had to live with maggots. They didn't even have toilet paper and proper food. The promise was 3 months, but it took them 8 months of non-stop noise for Bass to finally allow them housing in an apartment here in downtown LA. Only for the program to expect them to pay rent immediately without giving them proper help to get back on their feet. As Migrante, we demand livable wages and protection from big employers that make profit off of our hard work. We demand permanent housing for all and access to health services and education. Over 6,000 Filipinos are forced to leave the country every day, leave their families, their children, and their whole life just to put food on the table because the U.S. government and the Philippine government work together to keep Philippine wages so low so corporations can use Filipinos for cheap labor, use our land for mining and lodging. A land for extracting and exporting instead of using what we have to take care of our own. It forces Filipinos to leave the country to be used for cheap labor here, only for us to be treated like criminals. Trump and and his party scapegoats working class immigrants for the wealth corporations steal from our labor. The government puts to killing Palestinians when migrant workers, make all the wealth this country gets off on. When Trump won in 2016, I had only been in the US for 3 months. And right before I left the Philippines, the fascist Rodrigo Duterte was sworn into office in the Philippines. I was terrified not just for myself, but for the family that I had left behind. But I turned my fear into organizing.
That's right.
And it has led me here now. Migrants and Workers Unite. Join an organization that fights for the rights and welfare of migrants and workers. Migrante! Thank you.
All right, thank you to Migrante Los Angeles. Their bravery is an example and a model of what we all need to embody. I know that we are afraid, knowing that an overt fascist has taken power, but we have to turn our fear into power through organizing.